Shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another closing Sabbath class at Sons of Isaac Israelite congregation. This is Officer Yaquar. I'm Elder Chaarash. And of course, we'll tonight's lesson we're going to be covering the understanding the aspect of manhood and womanhood, right? So, of course, man, it's a lot of moral principles, man, that our people are generally lacking, man. And of course, we're going to cover some of those aspects, man, and just how our people are messed up. So we have a PowerPoint slide here, but unfortunately, we can't show you guys. I have to go back over it at another time. So, of course, let's open up to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, and verse 4. For those who are online, just definitely follow along with us. And of course, as I said before, I will do it over again for just to be able to so that you guys can see the PowerPoint itself. All right. So go ahead, Officer Yaquar, read that.
Jeremiah 17 and 4.
Uh-huh.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I give thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
Right. So now, Ms. Allah, what does that mean? The Lord said he shall cause our people to discontinue from their heritage.
And they're going to leave off their customs and their traditions to follow someone else's.
Right. So they'll definitely leave off from their culture, all right, to follow someone else's culture. What else? Sister Azaria, what you think? What's your input on that? Show us some of that wisdom.
He said it best. That I guess another way to say it is they'll forget what they are accustomed to, and they'll just start copying other people.
Absolutely. All right. Good. Both good answers. All right. So we said, and thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. So, right. Remember, the Lord gave us the heritage in which we have. Right. So, what was the heritage that was given unto us? Those laws, those statutes, and those commandments. Right. Absolutely. And the promises also. Okay. So he said, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies. Right. So not only would we lose our identity, lose the very laws that were given to us, right? But also the Most High said he will cause us to be in bondage and oppression to our enemies. All right. Remember, those that hate us. I'm talking about our enemies that hate us with a passion. Okay. And he says, in the land that thou knowest not. So in the land that thou knowest not, look at this. This is a land in which we know not. This land was never originally our land. Okay. So we're like millions of miles away from our original homeland, and we're stuck here in this place called America, serving out the very bondage or the sentence that the Most High has pronounced upon us. Okay. Why? Because of our disobedience. And he said, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. So that's just showing you how angry the Most High truly is. Okay. Because we sat there and we rejected him. All right. So remember, in the book of Jeremiah, this is going into the reign of Zedekiah, dealing with our people, man. And when they were really just going into wickedness. Okay. So our people are still in wickedness even to this very day. All right. So now let's read this.
What was taken away from us?
So what was taken away from us? Let's read some of the things that was actually taken away from us. All right. So like you ladies had brought out, man. Yes, that was on point. Let's read this. Let's read the first one.
Heritage.
Heritage. Go ahead.
Property that is or may be inherited. Inheritance.
So property that is or may be inherited for an inheritance, right? So what would our fathers be able to give us for an inheritance? If we was in our own land, what were some of the things that we would have been given? Wealth, land, good. So those things would have been inherited, would have been given to us. That's why I said property that is or may be inherited for an inheritance, right? So remember, we were always supposed to be able to pass down the land to the land in which the Most High gave to our fathers unto our children, right? So my brother has a son. He's supposed to be able to pass down the land in which he owns to his son, and then his son's son, so it stays in his family forever. All right. So it's the same thing. Even if I had son, right, the wealth that I obtained and that I worked hard for, I'm supposed to be able to actually be able to pass it down to him. Just like my brother was explaining to me earlier about the trust, right? What was it? The trust funds?
Like a personal trust.
Yeah, a personal trust, right? So remember, if I die, something happens to me, It don't go to nobody else. It don't go to the state or anything. It goes to, it stays within my family, right? So that's how you see a lot of those rich, wealthy banking families and things like that, man. That's how they're able to maintain themselves or keep the wealth in the family. Go ahead, Ron.
It's called a pure common law trust.
A pure common law trust. Y'all go write that down, man. Do your research on that. Okay. So let's read the next one.
Legacy, an amount of money or property left to someone in a will.
So a legacy, all right, an amount of money or property that is left to someone in a will, right? So as I said before, man, passing that wealth down to your children, okay, that is rightfully theirs. You see here in America, man, we're not able to do that. How many black families, man, do you know that's able to actually do that? No, not those of us that are poor, that are struggling, you know what I mean? That's making it, that's barely making it. Let's read the next one.
Birthright. Okay. A particular right, a possession, or a privilege one has from birth.
So, of course, a particular birthright of a possession or privilege that one has from the very time that they're born. Okay, read the next one.
The structure of our Israelite family.
So our family structure, that will be taken away. Okay, so say for instance, we have our heritage, we have our legacy, then our birthright. Remember, the birthright is pretty much, of course, us having our name. All right, us being privileged, man. The privilege of being the Lord's special people, right? That was basically taken away from us as well, right? Because of our sin. Now you have another people calling themselves the chosen of the Lord. Okay. So then even our family structures, right? So now how many of our Israelite families are still, or when I say Israelite family, I mean African-American families, are still structured, properly according to scripture? This is Zaria. Answer that for me. Not many, really none, right? Because remember, you look at the single parent home ratio, what is it? Almost like 80% now, So why? Because of all of the evil and the wickedness, man, that of course America promotes. All right. So remember, they don't want to see righteous families come together. So they're going to put more fornication and all of that. But that was something that would be taken away from us. Why? Because we don't know our heritage. We don't have a legacy. Our birthright is taken from us. As our laws and written records were taken away from us. So of course, when all of those things are taken away from us, it basically pretty much it'll destroy a family too, right? So that's why you see a lot of these young knuckleheads running around, man, just making babies and going on about their business, man, not being that father figure or that pillar, man, that they need to be for their family. They still being boys.
And also, when you watch TV shows now, there is no family structure amongst the African Americans.
Show that.
Prime example is what's the show, The Empire?
Yep.
You have 4 dominant black men characters, but none of them have structure within their family.
Yep.
They got issues with the mama.
Absolutely.
All major issues. So what is that showing our people growing up, our youngsters growing up? Exactly. So they are continuing to mess up the structure of the Israelite family.
Dysfunctional families, right? So of course, man, you had shows like the Cosby's that was out, Good Times. All of those shows, man, show positive family structures at one point.
Excuse me. Even what was it, Different World with the college, or was that the with the college? It was all about historically black colleges.
Your children going to historical black college, taking pride in that. That right there, man, our people don't have that no more, man. You see what I'm saying?
Encourage going to college and aspiring to get more.
Right. Like Sister Zari said, being pro-black, man, taking pride in your nationality of who you were. As a human being, okay? But you see all of that has gone down the drain, man. That's why you got mumble rap and all that BS that's out, man, destroying the minds of the children and all of that. But let's read the next one.
Laws taken away.
Our laws would be taken away, all right? So we wouldn't have our laws anymore. We'd be taught what? Christianity, right? The laws are done away with. That's how they took our laws away from us. You see? Go ahead and read the next one.
History stripped away.
Oh man, which is another very very important aspect, man. That our history being taken away from us, right? So a lot of us that came into the knowledge of who we are as the children of Israel, we didn't know that we were Israelites, all right? All we knew is that we were Africans, African Americans, or slaves, right? niggas, hoes, so on and so forth.
Proverbs.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what we knew who we were at one point. All right.
Proverbs and bywords.
So when your history is taken away, your history is one of the most important things, man. I remember reading it from Babylon to Timbuktu, man. It said that the not Ishmael, but Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? He raised his people up by teaching them their history that they were the descendants of Ishmael, who was the son of Abraham. And Abraham was basically the one who the Lord was dealing with out of all of the nations that were on the face of the earth. He took that and he ran with it. And then look at the empire which he built, the religious empire that he built. You see, much of our blood, much of Israelite blood was shed on his account. But you know, at the same time, that's how he raised up his people, man, because he was giving them their history. All right, and he formed a religion around it. Okay, so let's read the next one.
Things black people trust in.
Look at this. So now these are things that black people trust in, right? Read on.
Government programs.
Now the government programs, man. Remember, and many of these programs are pretty much, man, handicapping our people, man. You know what I mean? Because of course, especially the black woman, right? Of course, she physically, spiritually, and mentally depends upon the government, man. Most of our sisters, that's what they do. All right, you see the ones that are at the bottom of the barrel, as they say. The ones that don't, that's not trying to be high achievers or anything like that. So these are some of the programs that they depend on. We go ahead and read them all.
Section 8, Crystal Stairs, County GR, Welfare, and Planned Parenthood.
So look at that, Section 8. So they depend on the government giving them housing, right? So that's why, Esau like, call me daddy. You know what I mean? I'll take care of you, baby. Don't trip. You ain't got to worry about that nigga. You ain't got to worry about that nigga taking care of you. Go ahead, bro.
It's crazy because now you have Trump coming in trying to eliminate Section 8. And the reason being is because statistically now there are more white people on Section 8 than African Americans. So they're trying to wipe that out. They don't want that to be the statistic of them being more so on Section 8 now. So then
we're at the bottom. Hispanic people and blacks are at the bottom.
So now they're trying to eliminate that because what they brought in place for us is
right. You basically handicapping your own people in the process of that. So like, wait a minute, they get Section 8. You mean that we only got to pay $138 for like a 4-bedroom? What? I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Exactly. So remember, so these things, man. I'm telling you, so these things, man, are basically handicaps for our people. Though they can be very helpful to an extent. But still, man, if that's what you're depending on for your life source and all of that, you're depending on that to house you, and you don't want to be a go-getter and go out and work and then, be able to pay your rent. That's what it is, man.
Making you lazy.
Absolutely. So I can go hustle $10, man, asking people for quarters, man, and keep that $500 that I get for the GR, man, to myself or whatever the case may be. So that's what they do. All right. So the crystal stairs, you get paid for that. People watching your kids. Okay. The county GR, man. You see many of our brothers, man, young brothers get on those type of programs, man. $200 a month. What the hell is that going to do for you? How's the hell going to pay your bills? You see, you get $100, maybe $100 worth of food stamps, man. That ain't gonna feed you for a month. That's not even gonna feed you for a couple weeks. That'll be gone just like that. All right. Of course, the welfare programs that they do have, and also the Planned Parenthood dealing with abortion, man. You know what I'm saying? You basically giving the option, the black woman, the option to choose whether a child lives or dies. We
definitely have the highest rate of abortion.
Absolutely.
It goes even further than that. That same program promotes
you gotta speak up.
sterilization.
Gotta speak up.
That program promotes sterilization of the women.
Right.
After a woman has a baby, if they're under Planned Parenthood, the doctor automatically tells them to get on birth control pills.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
If there is a birth control pills, then it's the Depo
shot. Yeah.
So many years or something like that.
Tubes tied or something like that. You have like tubes
tied
that actually want your tubes tied.
Exactly. So the main point is they always with the Planned Parenthood, they will always ask you something, man, that's going to deal with you either sterilizing yourself as a woman, right, to where you will not be able to produce any more your children. Okay. So of course, man, these things that, once you come into the knowledge, man, of the truth, all right, you have to be able to unlearn a lot of the things of this world. All right. So read this in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3.
3 and 18.
Mm-hmm.
1 Corinthians 3 and 18.
Read that.
Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise.
Absolutely. So any man, as he says, Paul is saying here, man, don't let no man deceive you or trick you with those foolish words of wisdom that they try to give you, man. It's okay. You can get an abortion. It's all right. You know what I mean? It's okay. You can use this system, the system of America, man, to take care of you and all of that. Like, no, any man seems to be wise in this world. Let that man become a fool that he may become wise, right? Man or woman. Okay. So remember, of course, we're a people, we're down on our luck. We're stuck in servitude, right? So if you do need these programs to help you get by for a minute until you get back on your feet to get yourself in a better position, and by all means do so. But do not let those things control you. You know what I mean? Because look at this, man. When they were shutting down a lot of those food stamp programs, man, for what, like Chicago. Remember they had the electrical system, man, had crashed or something, and a lot of people weren't able to access, the money on their card, and people was walking out of the store with that food, So it's like, just imagine, man, like if people's ready to die for that. They're like, I gotta feed my family. What the hell are you talking about? You see? So, that's something that you don't want. You don't want to depend on this system, man, because remember, Esau, he'll sit there and he'll test how far he can push the button or control the people. You know what I mean? If he see that you're totally relying on it, then, man, you can only imagine, once he says, all right, this is over with. So now you want food, you want water. Well, guess what? You got to bow down and kiss the ring of Satan. You got to come to many of our satanic events now. So that stuff, man, as Israelites, we don't want to be subject to those things. But read on.
Corinthians 3 and 19.
Go ahead.
For the wisdom of this world is foolishness.
Read that one more time.
For the wisdom of this world is foolishness.
For the
with
wisdom
the Most High.
of this world is foolishness with the Most High. All right, so understand that, man. Anything that the world tells you that is a load of garbage may seem wise to someone else, but you know what? To us, we know, like, man, hell no, that's not. No, it's not. That's not wisdom to us. The Most High shows us in His scriptures, man, how to basically become independent, man, sovereign, as they say. You see, how to go out and make the money, man, to where the money won't make us. So those are the things, man, that we have to get back to, man, as Israelites. All right. Go ahead, read the rest.
He taketh the wise in their own craftiness.
Mm-hmm. Now read verse 20 real quick. This is real important. No, I'll read verse 20. It says, and again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. So the Most High knows, man, the thoughts of those who consider themselves wise, and their vain thoughts. All right. So for real, man. So make sure you guys unlearn those things, man, that that you learned in the world at one point. All right. So remember now, we're dealing with the enemies, man. The enemies that hate us. Okay. So now let's read this in Psalms 83, and let's start at verse 1.
Psalms 83 and 1.
Go ahead.
A song of songs of S.O.I.I.C. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God.
Right. Go ahead.
Verse 2. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
So now he said, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, right? So they're making this violent noise, man, against the Most High, right? And they sitting here and watch. He's going to explain in the next verse, man, what these nations are doing. So he said, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head, man, meaning that they've gone in full rebellion against the Most High. All right, they don't even regard the God of the heavens and the earth anymore. Let's read verse 3.
These next two are very key. Psalms 83 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Right. So they taking crafty counsel, man, against our people. So what are some of the crafty things that our oppressors, man, have taken up against us? All right. We're not just talking about the white man, but we're talking about all of the nations, man, that have had a hand in oppressing us, and the nations that have us in captivity now, right? Because they know who's who. They're not dumb to that fact. You know, the ones down there on the surface where we're at, they may not know who we are like that, but they know there's something special about us. But the ones that are up there, they know exactly who the children of Israel are, right? So ain't no way in hell you could tell me you pay these men millions of dollars, man, to study this Bible, and they don't know who the true children of God are according to scriptures and prophecy, right? So he said, Allah, tell me some of the things that they have taken crafty counsel against us. They keep us lost. They give us religion. What else?
They call us African Americans. When that's two continents, no one is going to.
Right. So they give us multiple nationalities and identities, right, to keep us divided. That's right. That's what they do too.
Us by putting the men against the woman, the children against the parents.
Right. They divide us in the household, in the home. Good answers.
Media.
Right. Good answers, Miss Azaria. What you got to add to that?
Slavery.
Slavery, they got us in slavery, right?
They got the Africans to sell us to the Europeans.
What do we do? What do the African Americans do on Sunday now as opposed to Saturday?
Oh yeah, they church and the Sabbath is Sunday. They changed the day of the Sabbath.
Absolutely.
And they changed the times,
the
dates
times,
of everything.
Yep, times, laws, the dates.
They gave us pagan holidays.
Now check this out. Check this out, man. The same thing that these nations do, right, when they take crafty counsel against us, because remember, they know that they cannot beat us on a physical level, right? So, of course, they have to deal with us more subtly here in the mind, right? Taking control of our mind and stuff like that, right? So, of course, so say, for instance, you take the top Negroes here, the most talented and gifted ones, right? And then what do? Give them $1 million and you tell them you rap about bitches and hoes. And that's what I want you to push. I want you to wear these old tight pants like a woman, man. I want you to claim that you're a third gender. Messing with the minds of the people, man. Being crafty against our people.
And look who they go find. Those in the slums. Do you want this $1 million or this $2 million? Well, this is what you gotta do for us.
Right. Because they know, like, man, $2 million, I can take care of my I can take care of my mom and everybody else that I love.
But what they don't know is the $2 million is a budget. You don't get all that. You still you have to accumulate that before you start making money. See, so it's always a trick to it, but they just
have to keep producing the same kind of music.
Exactly. So you know who's having an issue right now? Waka Flocka. Because he said that he's a Hebrew Israelite.
Yeah, he did.
And now he's having a conflict with himself because all his music was what it was.
Yeah.
So now he's working on transitioning. So if you notice, you don't really hear so much. He'll still do his mixtapes because it's a contract to do that. But he's, he's vegan now. He's, so that he's a prime example of coming out of that struggle, getting the knowledge. Now he's getting back to his, from being cut off. He's getting back to that now.
Absolutely, man. So he's no longer going with the flow, but he's going against the grain.
Up the stream.
Yep.
Brandon T. Jackson, same thing.
Absolutely.
They just deleted his account because he was going so hard.
Right now.
Yeah, they did.
Let's read on.
Psalms 83:4. They had said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance."
Right. So they said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." Man, so they're killing off our people, right? All type of wicked things, man, that the nations have done against us. Go ahead to the next one. So these are some of the nations, man, that are enemies, man, that we know biblically according to scripture, right? Edomites, your Caucasian race; Ammonites, your Japanese; Moabites, your Chinese; Hamites, your African nations; and then the Ishmaelites, your Arab races. All right. So those are just some of the nations, man, that are pretty much against you. I didn't put the Japhetic race up there just yet, but I'll make sure I put them up there because they're against us too. You just don't hear about them. Go ahead. So this is what you would call the United Nations, man. That's what it looks like, man. When they come in, when they take their crafty counsel against us. All right. All of those nations, all of those are nations that meet up there. Yes.
So you have the enemies of the Israelites, United Nations, the Edomites, the Caucasian races, Ammonites, the Japanese races, the Moabites, the Chinese races, the Hamites, the African races, and the Ishmaelites, the Arab races.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. So you guys got that down? All right, go to the next one. So this is a picture of the UN. The UN. All right. So they have meetings there, man. Okay. So of course, remember, all of those are the various nations that you know what I'm saying you'll see. Now, pretty much, you're not going to see a nation of Israel there or anything like that. Not us, the true Israelites.
You'll see the Israelis.
Yes, you'll see the Israelis. Okay. So we're not in those meetings, a part of those meetings, or else we already be privy man of what the hell they got going on.
We don't have no representative because we're all against them.
Absolutely. Now read this one.
The methods used to destroy the Israelite race.
So these are some of the methods that they use, man, to destroy us. Right? Go ahead, read them on. Read on.
Margaret Sanger, American Birth Control League.
So remember, that's what we talked about, the Planned Parenthood. All right. So of course, you know who Margaret Sanger is. All right. She was an advocate for the whole birth control movement, abortion, and all of that. Okay. Read the next one.
Eugenics.
The eugenics program, right? Creating the master race, same thing that Hitler was trying to do, Esau was trying to do here in the Americas, okay? Create the master race, and then to destroy the true master race, all right? Which was the Israelites, all right? Or quote unquote, the African Americans, okay? Go ahead.
Abortion.
Abortion. You see a lot of our sisters, man, they love abortions, man. I don't see how in the world any woman can sit there, man, and destroy a life. All right. Remember, once that seed hits that egg, that's life. All right. That's what they not understanding, man. You sitting here going back and forth about, is it life? It's not life. No, it's not. It's not even, no, it's life. Once that seed hits that egg, man, that is a life. And you sitting there dismembering the child in the womb of a woman, that is murder. All right. And our sisters, man, have a bad habit of doing that. All right. Especially out here in California. And I heard in New York is just terrible. Okay. So it shows you, man, a lot of the fornication is going on out there as well. Let's read on.
Willie Lynch letter.
Man, the Willie Lynch letter, the methods that have been implemented using that letter. Okay. That right there has been the blueprint for the white race, man, to destroy us. All right, and keep us divided. Go ahead.
Destroying the image of the black man.
Destroying the image of the black man, the leader, all right, the head, the bull, the strength of all nations, right? The Israelite man. Okay, they destroy our image. All right, read.
Exalting the woman.
Exalting that woman, boy. So you see, even in movies, man, who be the main characters now that you see in movies? Women, right? In some of the most kick-ass movies that you watch, right? You see that they're women, right? Resident Evil, Aeon Flux, all of those different movies. Kill Bill. I'm talking about, man, Lucy. Some of the best movies, man, I didn't watch. Kick butt movies have been women. You see what I'm saying? Because they're exalting the woman.
And a lot of movies you see the woman in power. She's a CEO or a COO, and she's dating this guy that owns a taco truck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Yep, that's true, man. Go ahead, read the next one.
Enable the black kid.
Enabling the black children. All right. So now you see, like, even there was a book that I was reading, man, and it was talking about, it was the conspiracy to destroy black children, I believe. I'm not pretty sure. I have the book, but it was literally talking about how how they set up to where in the 4th grade they set it up to where the black child just stops progressing, and that was it. You see what I'm saying? So you see how the black children, they're always adamant, man, from the 1st grade to the 3rd grade, but once they get to that 4th grade, that's it, and then everything just starts to just decline in them for some strange apparent reason, right? It's a good book, man. I really want to dissect it. It was a brother I watched on YouTube that was that talked about it. He was in an interview with what's what's the brother, the leader from the Black Panthers and a couple other guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was in the interview with Huey P. New. He was on some show, man, for some Edomite. I forget who it is. But let's read this. Huh? Yeah, it's on YouTube. They probably find it. Go ahead and read that.
Sanger charmed the Black community's most distinguished leaders into accepting her plan, which was designed to their own detriment.
Right. So what was that book that you had read?
The Killing of the Black Innocent
The
Children.
Killing of the Black Innocent Children, right? So that was a good book that you had read. I had read some of it, man, and it had a
They
few.
pointed out that W.E. Du Bois was one of the people who influenced
Yes.
Black churches, that it's okay to get abortions and they use birth
Right.
pills because
So,
people was really against it.
Right, now check this
especially
out.
the church.
Now check this out. Like she said, man, W.E.B. Du Bois, man,
A lot of people give him props for
influenced
his
him,
Black
influenced many of the Black churches, right? The Black pastors and leaders and stuff like that to accept abortion. Okay, so damn good job. Let's read it.
Genetically inferior.
So that's how they feel about African Americans, right? That we're genetically inferior to them. Why is that? Because in their heart, they know that they're genetically inferior to us, and they got to make themselves feel some type of way in order for them to be like, yes, we're better than them. But go ahead.
The need of birth control in America and birth control facts and responsibility, 1925.
And so that's the source of where you can get it from. Go ahead.
Sanger says such a plan, the Negro Project, will reduce the birth rate among the diseased, the sickly, the poverty-stricken, and antisocial classes, elements unable to provide for themselves, and the burden of which are all forced to carry.
So now that you like, they know that they have to take care of course, the sick, the sickly, the poverty-stricken, antisocial class. They know they got to take care of all of those classes. So why don't you cut your losses and just kill the children? So that's what they were promoting, right? For the African Americans to do. Okay, let's read this.
Margaret Sanger, founder of Planned Parenthood.
So this broad is the founder of Planned Parenthood. She gets no respect, no love from me at all. All right, because she wanted every single last one of us that's in this room to be dead. Okay, and many of her goals and visions are coming to pass and are excelling. All right, amongst the African Americans. Go ahead.
Colored people are like human weeds and are to be exterminated.
Check that out. That's exactly how she feels. That's exactly how every white person feels, man. That are in power, right? Even those ugly old trailer trash Edomites. Go ahead.
Willie Lynch.
Now this is dealing with the Willie Lynch letter. We're just gonna read through it. I'm gonna explain it briefly. Go ahead.
But it is necessary that your slaves trust and depend on us. They must love, respect, and trust us only. Above all, you cannot get them to work in this natural state. Hence, both the horse and the nigger must be broken. That is breaking them from one form of mental life to another.
Right.
Keep the body, take the mind.
So in other words, the natural state, man, is that the state of consciousness, right, of knowing who they are. You can't have them in that type of state. Okay. So if I know I'm an Israelite, man, and I'm like, I know I'm superior to you, then you think I'm gonna sit there and do the work that you asked me to do? Hell no. So that means they gotta go through a breaking process, just how they break a damn horse. You see, that means at the end of that breaking process, they're gonna be able to I was bucking at one point. Now that I'm broke, they're gonna put the saddle on me, and I ain't gonna say not one word. I'm not gonna move. I'm gonna say, go ahead, master, get on my back. Let's go. Where you want me to go? Where you want me to take you? All right.
One thing I was gonna say, a lot of cats in jail, they say lock the body, but you can't lock my mind. So they're talking about keep the body, take the mind. So they're conditioned that you can't take the mind, but they're still letting themselves get locked up.
Absolutely. So keep the body, take the mind. All right. Go ahead.
In other words, break the will to resist.
So break the will to resist. So now how does that apply? That principle apply today, Azaria?
Say it again.
How does that principle apply today? This method, keep the body, take the mind, that you could think about. Working. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 9 to 5.
I'm pretty sure you used to do it too.
Oh, basketball, yeah.
Sports,
yes.
Look at them. They keep them physically strong, but they keep them mentally weak.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I mean, that's why they say what? It's just like it's like pretty much breaking the horse, man. You know, horse can be bred, be thoroughbred, all of that, man. But a horse don't think for itself. You
They
know,
go wherever they're told to go.
absolutely. They go wherever they're told to go. Go ahead.
You must keep your eye and thoughts on the female
Mhm.
and the offspring of the horse and the nigger. A brief discourse in offspring development will shed light on the key to sound economic principles. Pay little attention to the generation of original breaking, but concentrate on future generations.
So they saying you want to make sure that you focus on the woman, right?
And the children.
All right, the women and the children, right? So that's when he talks about the future generations, okay? Because that has a great deal of, you know, of what everybody's going through right now. Go ahead. Read this one.
The male image destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
We reverse nature by burning and pulling a civilized nigger apart and bullwhipping the other to the point of death, all in her presence.
So they do this. They was doing this in front of the woman, right? So they bullwhipped this man, that civilized nigga, and they bullwhipped him, pulled him apart. You know what I mean? Tied him from one horse to another horse, and that was it, right? They bullwhipped the other one to the point of death. Why? Because what would that do psychologically to the woman, right? Let's read. About to read about it.
By her being left alone, unprotected.
So she'd be alone and left unprotected, right? Because they just destroyed the powerful image of the Israelite man. Go ahead.
With the male image destroyed, the ordeal caused her to move from her physiological dependent state to a frozen independent state.
Right. So now, at one point, the woman she was loving and she was dependent upon her husband, right, for that protection. For that, for that protection, right? Now, she's what? She's in a frozen state, all right, or independent state, meaning that she doesn't need a man at that point. She can do everything for herself, and that's the mentality of a lot of black women today. All right, they feel they don't need a man. They can take care of their kids on their own. I could do better all by myself. All of that junk, man, that the black community promotes now, man. Complete garbage. You know what I mean? Any woman that says that, she's a complete fool. All right. Every woman needs leadership. Okay. Whether you believe it or not. All right. From your father, husband, brother, they need that leadership and that guidance. All right. But go ahead.
In this frozen psychological state of independence, she will raise her male and female offspring in reverse roles.
So now the roles will now be in reverse now. Right. So before I move on, Azari, what you think that means when it talks about the roles will be in reverse?
The woman will be, the girl will be raised to be more dominant and in control, and then the son or the boy will be to follow lead and not have any
bingo. That's right. So then the male will be feminine and the woman be masculine, right? She'll be the one out front, right? He'll be the one standing behind. You see what I'm saying? So I know in the Islamic culture it says what the male is out front, the woman she has to be behind her husband, right? So now just imagine that role is switched now. So now in the black community is the woman she's walking out front, and then the man is just holding her skirt tail. She pays for everything. Pocket. Yeah, exactly. The pants pocket. Yep, or her purse. You know, she pays for everything. She buys everything. She does everything literally. All right. So that's why the roles are now completely reversed, man. Because now this white man, he psychologically destroyed her mind, okay? Because he did what? He destroyed the image of the black man. Go ahead.
For fear of the young male's life, she will psychologically train him to be mentally weak and dependent.
So this is where you get these men to be couch potatoes, playing video games all damn day. So this is what happens, man, when a woman, she allows her son, to be mentally weak, all right, psychologically weak, okay, and dependent upon her, all right. This is what happens, right? So this is why you have males that don't ever leave home, right? The only ones that are not supposed to leave home are the sisters. The man's supposed to have been and moved on and started his family doing whatever, right? The woman, she's supposed to be home until she's married off to her husband. Go ahead.
But physically strong.
But the man will be physically strong. He'll still be physically strong, buff, swole, all that stuff, man. But psychologically, he'll be weak here, all right, and be dependent upon the woman. Go ahead.
Because she has become psychologically independent, she will train her female offspring to be psychologically independent. What have you got? You've got the nigger woman out front and the nigger woman behind and scared.
So now you see the woman out front and the nigga man behind and scared, right? So that's what happens. Now the woman takes on the role as the protector, and the man just sitting there. No, baby, don't, no. And this is what you get right here, man. You get these effeminate ass jakes, man, sitting there putting on yellow lipstick, wearing blue hair, right? I know y'all have seen that picture of that gay dude, man, with the blue extensions in the hair, looking super just weak, man. And check this out. What show was that? I forget what that was. I think that was Housewives of Atlanta.
Nah, that dude was with Tyra Banks or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tyra Banks. So look at that. Look at that. Look how gay that is. Got a big bow tie, pink and gray bow tie, man, with a bob. Sick.
He wears skirts
and heels. He teaches them how to catwalk.
Sick. But that's what happened. That's what happened, man. The roles completely reversed. Go ahead. So look at this. Men, effeminate, man. Gang bangers, man. Brothers think that they tough and they hard, but this is the image of the black male destroyed right here. This is not power. This is not grace. This is not a strength. This is weakness. You know what I mean? This is weakness, fear. This is standing behind the woman right here. All right. Go ahead. Read that.
We must completely annihilate the mother tongue of both the new nigger and the new mule and institute a new language that involves the new life's work of both.
Absolutely. So now go ahead, read on.
You know, language is peculiar institution. It leads to the heart of the people.
Absolutely. So, my brother, Yaquar, man, explain that to me. What this means exactly.
You know, the language is peculiar institution. Basically, like except when you're dealing with this knowledge right here. If they take certain things and use it to their own language, and it's going to break us down and keep us mentally trained, it's going to lead to the heart of the people. And that's what they did with slavery.
Absolutely. So annihilating the mother tongue, right? Pretty much it goes back to, how can I put it? It goes back to, what's the word I'm looking for? And basically how you destroy people, right? You take away their language, you take away the strength of that people, right? So if my language is Hebrew, I'm professing to be a Hebrew Israelite, right? And I know that I speak the Hebrew language. Now, just like they did, like when you watch the movie Roots, right? And he told him, he was like, "What's your name?" It's Toby. He's like, "Kente." He's like, "It's Toby." And then he finally breaks and says, "It's Toby." He's speaking. Now he just named himself after the oppressor's language. All right. So now he has an English name instead of staying true to his African name, his heritage, right? Now that no longer applies, man. So it happened to the indigenous people that were here, the Native Americans, man. That's why many of them speak Spanish, man. Portuguese, French, all of that stuff, man, because that's how they annihilated the native language of those people. Okay, let's read this.
Who did the Most High put in charge?
So who did the Most High put in charge, Azaria? Who did the Most High put in charge?
Yahushua.
Under Yahushua.
Under him?
Yeah.
The man.
Absolutely. The man, right? That's who he put in charge. Okay. So now we're dealing with the man. So you guys can just write these down here. So we're dealing with the book of Genesis chapter 1. We can go there real quick. Genesis chapter 1 in verse 20. We'll start at verse 26. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26.
Excuse me. Genesis 1 and 26. And God said, "Let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth."
Right, read on.
So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them.
Absolutely. So now you see that the Lord created man to be in his own image, right? What is the image of the Most High? I remember I did a lesson on this too a while back. But what is the image of the Most High, man? An image of being absolute and the absolute and supreme power that he is, right? He gave this power to man, right? The understanding to be above all of the Lord's beasts, to be above all of the beasts of the earth, all right? The nations that were there already. He created man to be, you know what I'm saying, that supreme being, all right? So that's why I said we were created in the image of the Most High, right? So this is why, of course, our position is still to be respected, all right? And this is why when, of course, when they destroyed the male figure, or the image of the male, you know what I mean? They took that away from us, all right? That respect that the woman had for her husband, or for the male image, okay? So, you know, so then you have Colossians chapter 3, verse 10. I know it's a good lesson, man. I'm gonna go back over it too next year or next month, in Esau's new year. But you got Colossians chapter 3 and verse 10. You can write those down, being renewed in knowledge. Of course, the Apocrypha, Ecclesiastes 19 and verse 19, knowledge of the commandments. All right. Because remember, we were placed in charge, right, of being the stewards of, of the Most High's knowledge, man, and pretty much teaching the commandments of the Lord. Okay. Yeah. So remember, the Lord said that in Numbers 27 and 16 that He has set men to be over the congregation, right? So that is true. The Lord placed men in positions of leadership, all right, not women. Okay. So remember, that's not to say that sisters are not, good leaders as well, but it's to say that there's an order and a structure that the Most High set in place, and the woman is secondary to that. All right. The man is first, the woman is secondary.
So I got a question. So when you're dealing with the household, the man is the what? He's the protector and the provider.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The woman runs the house. The man oversees. So while we at work, what's being done at the house? The woman is handling everything. Mm-hmm. And the children are co-managers. They help her manage the house while the father is at work. Mm-hmm. That makes sense?
Yep.
So now you have today, we're dealing with all this. That structure is not that anymore. You have the man home all day, not cooking and cleaning. The woman at work, and the children are, they don't have no respect for Pops because he's not doing what he's supposed to do.
Absolutely. So like I said, the roles have been reversed. All right. Exactly. So then, of course, again, Ezekiel 34 and 31, the flocks of my pasture are men. So, of course, even in the position of spiritual leaders and guides, the Most High has placed men in charge. All right. Not women. Okay. So that even shows you further, man, that women are not to be in these churches, in those church houses of religion, teaching the word of the Heavenly Father. All right. It is not appointed to them to do so, only to the children. All right. And the other sisters. All right. Men are the ones who are the leaders of the congregations. All right. And we teach the word of the Heavenly Father. And then in Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 4, men are called by the Most High, right, to be these leaders. Okay. So understand that. So every brother, man, that you see, that you come into contact with, man, of course, has to understand his position and his role as being that supreme being, all right, or as they say, God. All right. But that's another lesson in itself. Okay. So read this one, brother.
The mind state, or 3 types of men.
So this is the mindset of the 3 types of men. All right, go ahead.
1, a nigga or a niggar. Mainly a covetous and stingy person, fornicator, lazy.
Mm-hmm. So this is the mentality of a nigga, as I say. All right. I don't like the mentality of a nigga or a nigger, right? So a nigga is meanly covetous. All right. So that's why a lot of you sisters, man, be out there wondering, you know what I'm saying, why the nigga is sitting there, smoking your weed, shall I say, and he ain't giving you a damn thing. All right. Meanly covetous, stingy person, a fornicator, going out sleeping with different women, all of that lazy, want to sit up on your couch. These things sisters are really going through right now because they dealing with the mind state of a nigga. All right. So read that. So this is you can read in the Apocryphal Wisdom of Solomon. You can write it down. Wisdom of Solomon 4 and 6, right? Children begotten of unlawful beds. Okay. So a nigga will go and he'll lay seed, man, in another man's field, shall I say, right? So the field is the woman, okay? So that's what a nigga will do, okay? So then you have number 2, read that.
Number 2, boy double-minded, fornicators, men that act as child.
Right, so now the second mind state of a man, right, is this, okay? A boy, all right? So you know how many sisters they're talking about you a boy, you childish and all of that, right? Meaning a boy will be the one that's double-minded, man. Don't know what the hell he want to do with himself, all right? Don't know if he want to be committed. Don't know if he want to, you know what I'm saying? He want a real woman, all of that stuff. He gonna always be double-minded. Don't know if he want a whole world real white.
The prime example, the movie Baby Boy.
Absolutely. Baby Boy's a prime example of that, of a double-minded man who's a boy. All right, jumping from baby mama to baby mama. Don't know if you want to leave mama house and be with wifey or whatever the case may be, right? Men that act as children, all right, and you do have men that act like that, okay? So remember, let's read that in the book of James 1:8.
James 1:8.
Mm-hmm.
A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
Right. So a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Okay. So that means that man that is double-minded, he can't make up his damn mind on what the hell he wants to do. All right. He don't know if he want to be a man or a boy. Okay. That's a very, very dangerous man, a person to deal with. All right. Someone that is double-minded. Go ahead and read 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 8.
1 Timothy 5:8. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his house, he have denied the faith and is worse than an infidel.
Now check that out. So a man that does not take care of his responsibilities, he is considered as a worthless nigga in the eyes of the Most High, man. And I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it 100, man. Men that don't want to take care of their kids, they're worthless, man. Worthless as hell. I'm gonna say it how it is. All right. So you can sit there and you can go and lay down with the woman and then give your seed to her, right? Give a piece of yourself to this woman, yeah, but you don't want to take care of the piece of you that you left behind. You is a nigga. All right.
Was that James?
Yeah. No, 1 Timothy
That's 1
5.
Timothy 5:8.
Yes, 1 Timothy 5:8. Man has to take care of his responsibilities. Meaning the things at home. You lay with that woman, you make sure that you take care of your responsibilities to that woman. All right. Meaning that if you gotta go hustle to get y'all a house or whatever the case may be, apartment, man, for you and her, then that's what you gotta do. All right. You gotta go and buy them Pampers, man. Shoot, work that 9 to 5. You better go handle your business, man, and take care of your family. Okay. No matter how many girls you got pregnant, them kids still gotta be taken care of because you know why? They're still a part of your family. All right. So let's read that one in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and starting at verse 1, I believe. Verse 12, I think. Yes, verse 11, I'm sorry.
1 Corinthians 13 and 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child.
Mm-hmm.
But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
Absolutely. So he said, when I was a child, I spake as a child, man. I did childish things. I thought as a child, right? So, of course, you cannot be a boy, man, when you're doing grown man things, all right? So that is the wrong mind state to have, okay? So now it also says in the book of Proverbs 24:9. Go ahead. 24:9. No, not
down 24:9.
Yeah, read 24:9.
Proverbs 24:9. The thought of foolishness is sin.
So the thought of foolishness is sin, right? So it is a foolish thing for a man, right, with the mentality of a boy to sit there and want to start a damn family, man. And he's not going to take care of his family. He's going to sit there and bounce around like a fool or buffoon, man. So that right there, that is foolishness in the eyes of the Lord. That is sin, okay? The thoughts of foolishness is sin, all right? So many men, man, have to lose that mentality in order to get themselves out of that childish mind state that they're in. All right. So those are the mind states, man, of, you know, first for one, the nigga, the two is the boy. All right. Let's go to the next one. Next slide. You can skip that one. So now this is how a real man's mind state should be, okay? Let's read that in the book of Titus chapter 2 and verse 6.
Titus 2 and 6.
Go ahead.
Young men likewise exhort to be sober-minded.
So young men likewise exhort to be sober minded. So a man has to sit there and he has to be sober in mind. All right, cannot be intoxicated or anything like that. Right, he has to be sober in his mind. Go ahead.
Verse 7, in all things showing thyself a pattern of good works.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
In doctor showing uncorruptness, gravity, and sincerity.
So showing good works in doctrine, showing good works in doctrine, showing uncorruptness and gravity and sincerity. All right. So a man always has to show himself a pattern of good works. All right. In doctrine, meaning in these commandments. All right. That's how the mindset of a man should be. Okay. With no corruption whatsoever, man. Serious, mean gravity, meaning being serious about it, and sincere in spirit, man, about the way he's actually moving. All right. In life. Go ahead.
Verse 8, sound speech that cannot be condemned, that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you.
So remember, sound in speech. All right. He says that he that is contrary in part may be ashamed, man. So brothers that see you, all right, when you speak to them, man, they have no evil thing to say about you. Why? Because you holding yourself in an upright manner to where they can't say anything bad about you, man. They'll be ashamed if they try to speak anything evil against you. All right. Read on.
2 and 9, exhort servants to be obedient unto their own masters and to please them well in all things, not answering again.
Absolutely, right. So of course, again, man, the brother has to teach young men, okay, to obey their masters. No, this is not dealing with slave masters. No, this is dealing with your elders and your leaders, okay? All right, and your fathers, all of that stuff, man. So those who are over you, who are appointed over you, remember you have to, we teach, man, that look, obey your heads, okay? Obey your heads, man. So he says, and to please them well in all things, and not answering again, man. So meaning no talk back or anything like that. All right. So we got to make sure that the things that we've been asked to do, we make sure that we do them. All right. So those are the things, man. That's the type of mind state that a man should always have. Okay. So these are so now this one is the mind of a man of God. All right. So of course you can write these down. Okay. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verses 17 through 18. A man must love discipline. That's one of the most important aspects. All right, a man must love discipline. Okay, and remember the benefits to discipline are are as such, right? When you read in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 8, okay, it's going to show you about the principles of fortitude, or the disciplines of fortitude, justice, prudence, temperance, all of those things, man, that shows you how a man must carry himself in his mind state. All right. Psalms 94 verse 16, where it talks about who will rise up against the evildoer. So the state of a man of God, this has to be on the fact that, you know what, I'm gonna put my life on the line for truth. I don't care who the hell in front of me. If you doing iniquity, you doing evil, then guess what, man? My path is to move straight through you. All right, to get to the source of that evil. All right, so I'm gonna stand up against those who do evil and wicked things, man, who teach evil and wicked principles. All right, so that is the mind of a man of God. Also, you can write down Esther chapter 13 in the Apocrypha, 12 through 14, dealing with Mordecai. Mordecai, he showed that he had a level of loyalty to the Most High that was unbreakable, right? That's why he said, I will not bow down to Haman. I do not give a damn about giving reverence to this Edomite. I don't give a damn if he is second in command in the entire kingdom, man. My allegiance is to the Most High. That's it. All right. Just like we say F Trump and all of that stuff. And guess what? Your allegiance needs to be to our supreme God and deity. All right. So then 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 26, dealing with the manliness of David's men. All right. The manliness of David. Okay. Showing how this man, he was a young man that sat there and he killed a giant, man, that some of the greatest warriors in Israel were afraid of. You see, that's the type of spirit, man, that a true man of the Lord will produce. All right. So then Second Maccabees 10, 32 through 36, the feeble man as David. No, that wasn't the right scripture. boom, boom. And then you can also read this, which is one of my favorite chapters in 2 Samuel chapter 23, starting at verse 8, and that's dealing with the mighty men of David. All right. And you'll see that David, man, he had a special forces unit, man, that was out of this world. All right. Some of his top generals, okay, were some of the coldest warriors on earth. All right. This is pure fact, man. Go to the next one. All right, you can. All right.
The woman.
No. We'll stop right there.
Okay.
Of course, we'll stop it. We'll stop there. So, so we just dealt with the first part, dealing with the aspect of the man. All right. So we'll also deal with the woman as well. All right. I'll probably go over it when I redo the lesson. But nonetheless, let's see what time. We got a little time. Go ahead and read that. We'll read it.
The woman/wife.
Mm-hmm.
The purpose of the wife is to be a helpmeet to her husband. This is the plain teaching of the scriptures. The word help in Hebrew is ezer, E-Z-E-R, meaning aid, A-I-D. The work of caring for or attending to someone or something, give help or assistance, be of service.
Mm-hmm.
The word meet in Hebrew, neged, N-E-G-E-D, and means a counterpart or mate. Hence, a wife's biblical purpose is to assist and help her husband in life.
Absolutely, man. So the Hebrew word for help is azar, and then which means to aid, and then also the Hebrew word for meet is nagad, which means a counterpart or mate. All right. Hence, a wife biblical purpose is to assist or help her husband. All right. So that is the purpose, man, of our women. Okay, to assist and help their mates. Go ahead. So of course, it's dealing with the order of the household. In 1 Corinthians chapter 11, you can read it real quick.
1 Corinthians 11:3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
Mm-hmm. So it says, so that is the practically the order of the household. All right. So understand that. Okay. So that's very important for all women to pretty much understand. All right. That is the order, right? From heaven all the way to earth. Okay. So the man is over the woman. Christ is over the man, and then God or the Most High is over Yahweh Shai. All right, Mashiach. Go to the next slide. All right, so then you can write these down here. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, 33 through 34. The woman is not permitted to speak in a church, right? So what that pretty much means is the woman is not to be out of order in the church. So she just can't sit there and blatantly speak out and all of that stuff, man, and voice her opinion and all of that. No, she is to humble herself and be and pretty much be silent in the congregation. All right. If a woman will learn anything, if her husband is present, and in the knowledge, then that's who she learns from. That's her primary teacher. Okay. So whatever questions she may have, she got to go home and ask her husband, man, and he'll fill her in at that point. All right. So the next one is Genesis 3:16. So sorrow, all right, meaning the woman would be emotional on all levels and unstable, all right, which is very true. Okay, so that's why when he said, "I will multiply thy conception and thy sorrow, and in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children," and all that. So of course that's what the Most High is showing you, man. In a deeper level, he's showing you that women Eve would be very emotional, all right, and unstable. Okay. At one point where her mind was solidified and solid, now she just be an emotional wreck. All right. And you can find that in thousands of our sisters, man, millions of the black women that are here in the United States of America, man. Many of them are emotional, unstable, so on and so forth. That is just a curse that is just upon sisters. All right. Very few sisters, man, you meet, man, that have themselves under control in that level. All right. More so when sisters come into the knowledge, man, they pretty much stabilize for the most part. But then you have some that just be like, just don't get it. All right. So of course, Isaiah 3:12, how the women will basically pretty much rule over men. And then Isaiah 3:16, that's dealing with the black woman will believe that they're superior believe that they're superior because they're. I didn't write the rest of it.
I get it real quick.
Let's read that. Isaiah 3. Oh, because of their beauty. That's right. So that's what's going back. Isaiah 3:16. So they'll believe that they'll be superior to men because of their beauty and the assets that they have, right? So that's why you see a woman always showing her ass off, on the social media, breast and all of that stuff, man, because she believed her beauty would be superior. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's working.
So now this is the black woman. So this is how a black woman naturally looks, right? So this is a photo of Nicki Minaj, right? So this is before she completely sold out. As you can see, she's in her natural state, right? Still got a weave in her head, but of course, she hasn't bleached her skin or anything, right? She has a blonde wig on in the next picture, right? Bleached her skin completely, right? And now you see she's famous, right? Because now she's giving glory to her oppressors, right? So that's who they want to be more closely associated with than their original state. All right. So these are the different diseases, man, that plague Israelite women, like thyroids, abortion. Of course, that's dealing with a mental disorder that women do have, miscarriages, breast cancer, obesity. You see a lot of women are overweight, not only because of the food that they eat, because a lot of the medications and the injections that they receive from from the steroids and from the what do they call them, the depot shot and all that crap, STDs, because whoredom is heavy amongst our Israelite women. So it's just crazy, man. So as you can see, this is dealing with the clothing of our sisters, right? So you see, when you read in the Apocrypha in the history of Susanna, chapter 1, verses 31 through 32, you'll see that Susanna, she was a woman that remained covered, right? And then you see that, so you see the Israelite sister on the left, she's covered, right? So now you see the sister that's on the right hand side, she's showing off her curves. Pretty much, she's naked. To my eyes, she's naked. Because I can see everything. There's nothing left to the imagination. All right. So then you can read the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 25, and it shows you about women that wear provocative clothing. Right? They're called harlots. Okay. I met a woman with the attire of a harlot. All right. So as you can see, the image on the right, that's the attire of a harlot, point blank, period. Okay. I don't give a damn how cute the outfit is. If I can see butt, breasts, I can see the nipples through it all. That means you're wearing the attire of a harlot. Okay. Things that should not be shown right to the naked eye. All right. That your beauty is for your husband, right, and not for all men to see. Okay. Go ahead. A woman. So now this is dealing with how women, when we talked about how the roles will reverse, right? So this is in the book of Jeremiah 31 in verse 22. Read that out.
Jeremiah 31 and 22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughters? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man.
Right. So a woman shall compass a man. All right. So you see that a woman will surpass a man in various, if not all areas, man, in society. Go ahead. Let's see some of the things that women, or the areas where women surpass men, right? Jobs. All right. Women can pretty much practically can get jobs damn near anywhere, right? You see on the educational level, it says more women go to school than men do, right? Then you see finances, right? A woman can get money, faster than a man could in this system, right? Remember, the system is set up and designed for the woman to be taken care of, all right? Not the man. You see what I'm saying? Remember, men are supposed to be dependent upon sisters, right? So, of course, financially it's set up for you guys, right? So then housing, okay, same thing, same aspect. A woman can get a house before I could, all right? A woman with 2 kids could practically get Section 8 before a single man could, all right? That truly needs the housing. You see what I'm saying? So that's how, so that's some of the areas in which black women have surpassed black men in those areas, all right? And this is just the overall generalization of how society operates, okay? I believe that's it. That's it for that. So so of course, you know, that's just just some of the aspects, man, of understanding man, manhood and womanhood. Just understanding some of the obstacles that are against us. It's much more. What I'm saying, that we could definitely add to this presentation, as far as like the mind state of a woman and all of that. That right there, that's going to be on an entirely different level. But so me and my brother, we're gonna put together another little lesson, man, dealing with like the psychological damage of the black woman, and just seeing what's really going on with her. But are there any questions? Questions, real quick.
All the way back to you're talking about Planned Parenthood and abortion and
Real quick, cause I gotta go.
My question is, for women who have children that they can't handle and don't want any more children, what would you recommend? Because I know you said that birth control is out of the question.
Right. Just don't have sex. That's it. Just don't have sex.
But what about if their husband is not on board?
Then you ain't got no choice. Remember, what does the scripture say in the book of Corinthians? It says that the husband does not have control over his body, neither does the wife have control over her body, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So basically, the husband want it, he get it. All right. That's something that y'all got to come together on terms, man, to agree with. All right. Are there any more questions before we close out? All right. Well, if there are no further questions, man, then we'll send up our prayers and give all honor and praise to the Most High. But for those who are online, man, we're definitely gonna close out. And of course, I'll see you guys on Monday for our Monday class, and we'll be going into who's grafted. All right. So we're talking about the grafted or the Gentiles and all of that. So we'll actually see who was actually grafted. Was it the all nations, or was it just a certain people? So of course, we'll deal with that on Monday. So so with that, man, definitely go to our YouTube page. So subscribe, share the information. There's tons of other topics, man, on the YouTube page that you guys can check out and look at, examine, leave your comments, questions, or statements. And of course, staying strong in the faith. Enjoy the third day of the Feast of Dedication, of course. And I will see you guys Monday. And with that, we're going to say shalom here at the Sons of Isaac Israelite congregation. All right.
Shalom. Shalom. Shalom.